All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another Job Connect Cafe. This is the last one of the 2020 edition of this year. So we're so excited about it. We're so excited that so many of you people have joined, are or willing to join today. So um, thank you to our panelists as well, who will be speaking about employment opportunities in the sector. We still have some people who are joining, but in the meantime, I would like to kick this off. This initiative is actually part of our Hopes team, which is Leticia is a member as of our dedicated employment uh, mental health advisor. Sorry, she's the head of our mental health team at MNLCT. Um, and so, those of you who don't know her, she's with us today. She'll be speaking in a minute or two. But before that, I just want to, as I welcome everyone on board, I just want to thank every one of you for making it today. I know how challenging it is. This year has been very, very difficult for everyone. And a lot of people have been faced with, whether it's financial challenges or employment, job losses. So on a social level, on an emotional level, on a physical level as well, there has been a lot of uh, hardships from what we've heard. So the point of this is for us to reach out to people, see how we can help any way we can, and also our partner organizations, the people who have joined us today, work with great institutions, and they also work with many clients, and they on one-to-one basis. Also, we want to open as much as opportunities as much as we can, expose the benefits that are out there for people who are not in the know. So that's why we handpicked these organizations that will speak about the employments that opportunities that they have at their organizations. We as MLCT, as most of you know, we are an organization that works on different levels. We're dedicated to newcomers. We've been around for over 37 years, and we help, job seekers. We work with refugees. We work with vulnerable individuals, newcomers of, different backgrounds. And this year has been no exception. We've kind of upped our game. We've launched these webinars. We've launched an initiative called Ask MNLCT, where we open up all these questions that the public may have, um, and one of this program per se is to tackle some of those issues. So um, to say no more and to introduce our first speaker, Leticia, um, who is the head of our Hopes team, and she heads our mental health team. She works with clients, helps them to find jobs, as well as trying to bridge barriers where they may need some language skills or if they need any special counseling. So welcome, Leticia. Thank you so much. And she's been the brains behind this webinar, by the way. So thank you so much. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Miles. And good afternoon, everybody. And welcome to the Job Connect Cafe 2020 event. This is the second version because 2 months ago in September, we ran the first Job Connect Cafe in this year. And we had a great response at that time and a wonderful feedback from the community. And this time we decided to do it again. And we decided to do it again for different reasons. The first is because we know that after the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, employment is one of the most affected needs, especially in the newcomer population. The second reason is because at this time of the year, which is close to the holiday season, new job positions emerge, and we seek the possibility of connect newcomers with employers. And First, because this is an opportunity to come together as a community, to gather and explore these new job opportunities. And once more, to reiterate that the Mennonite New Life Center, we always try to keep alive the community spirited. We want to work together with the community, and we want to be there for the community, especially for the newcomer population. We know that this has been a very difficult year, but at the same time, we have witnessed the resilience and the strengths of the community after all. And we are here to continue working and building together the strategies to meet the newcomers integration goals and expectations. And just want to say thank you to all the Mennonite New Life Center programs, to the Redwood Shelter, which is our partner in this journey, and that have made possible these events, and also to all the employers and community members that are here today in this virtual platform. I hope that this be a meaningful and helpful experience for all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Leticia. Thank you for joining us. I just want to also say that anyone is welcome to ask questions. So there will be, the way this will be conducted is during each speaker's session, at the end, there will be an opportunity at each segment of, as we go along, to ask a Q&A, to ask a question directly to any of our panelists, or to that panelist per se. And in the end, if there's more questions, we will also open the floor to your questions. So feel free to use click on the Q&A button at the icon at the bottom of your Zoom screen, and ask those questions there. And then we will go ahead and answer them for you. And if there's, I see some people typing in questions in Spanish. So Leticia also speaks Spanish, so we can also translate in Spanish. So anyway, I want to introduce the Redwood, and one of our dedicated speakers to this afternoon, will talk more about the organization. Avon, she's an community outreach manager at Avon Harris. Thank you very much for joining us, and please introduce yourself. Tell us more about what the Redwood does, and why you came upon this initiative.
Thank you, Miles. What a great introduction. Thank you. As Miles said, my name is Avon Harris, and I'm the Community Outreach Manager at Redwood. I just want to give you just some brief snippets as to who the Redwood is, and my colleague who's coming up is going to fill in. I'm creating the frame, and she's going to fill in the rest of the house. So as I mentioned, the Redwood is an organization that's been around for almost 30 years. And we are a feminist organization, and our work started as a shelter, and we still provide that service for women who are fleeing violence. And as Leticia mentioned, now is a difficult time. We know that the COVID pandemic has upended our lives in so many ways, and women are still having the issue of seeking shelter from domestic violence, and we do provide that service. But in addition to that, which is our core, we still do that. We love supporting women, and we are hoping and waiting for the day when we're not needed anymore. So that's the long-term goal. But in the meantime, we have some awesome services that we offer to build on our work as a shelter. And one of them is to work in partnership. Right now we're working in partnership with the Mennonite Life Center, and we also work with Women Focused Canada to be part of this initiative today, which is so exciting for me. But our work in partnership is not just happenstance. It happens that this is enshrined in our mission and vision as an organization. And part of our mission set is that we work for social change through learning, collaboration, and advocacy. And this is one of those collaborations, and also the learning piece, and hopefully advocacy will germinate from that. So I myself, I manage, as I say, the community outreach, which has a couple of pieces, one of which are 2 leadership components, which is a youth leadership. So if there are any youth in the audience who want to be part of an awesome leadership program, this both are Women on the Move, Youth Women on the Move, and Women on the Move. And there are 2 leadership programs that we're currently trying to fit into COVID. But the organization is very strong to make sure that our capacity to provide learning opportunities for women are intact in spite of COVID. So as the time go on, as I say, my colleague is going to bring up at the back end to really share some of what she's working on and outside of the shelter. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention the I Determine. I Determine is another new project as part of our learning and collaboration piece. It is a talk and text service that provide women with that piece of counseling that they can get on their phones, and able to support them to have a strategy to whether leave or manage the situation that they're in. And I believe it's in the chat that Miles would share the contact information of the I Determine program.
Yes, I've just included that in the chat room. So, and there's a crisis line as well that you.
So yes, again, I just want to say welcome. This is an awesome opportunity, and we look forward for your full participation. We welcome you to engage in the chat, ask us questions, and we hope that we'll have the answer. As a matter of fact, I believe we'll have the answers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Avon. Much appreciated there for that intro about your organization, the background. You're doing great work. And we appreciate that. So just again, I know we've had a few questions in the QA about why some of the attendees' videos are not appearing on screen. So I know last time we had more of a meeting session, but we had over 100 people. So it's not possible to have 100, people videos on at the same time. So the webinar allows only panelists. You can only see the panelists. But if any person, any attendee, any participant can join in the conversation if they want to ask a question by just simply raising their hand, and I will unmute you from my end. So feel free to raise your hand, click on that icon, or you can, if you don't wish to speak, you can type in your question in the Q&A. So either of those options, you do have that. But we do welcome you to speak as well. We'd like to hear your voice and what you have to say, or any suggestions that you may have. Also, just really quickly, again, for those who just joined, I'm Miles. I work in the communications team at MNLCT. And this session, again, Job Connect Cafe, is meant to bring together the industry and help job seekers land a better, their dream job. So I just want to quickly introduce the speakers who are going to speak today. And we have wonderful speakers from various organizations. We've got Abra, who's going to speak next from the Redwoods. We've got also speakers from Jollibee, UPS, the logistics company, C-Care Health. We have Teleperformance, who will join us as well. And we have the Women Focus Group, who will talk about opportunities in that segment, in that sector. And we have Brands for Canada, one of our community partners, who will speak about the industry and how to take advantage of the opportunities that are out there from utilizing various resources. Also, we will be conducting a few polls. And we encourage you to answer those polls. I'm going to launch the first one now. There will be a few throughout the session. And we also are giving, we have some generous donors who are giving away some prizes today, just as some giveaways, just to encourage people to attend. And I know it's a season of giving, so we want to also be in that spirit. So I'm going to launch the first poll. It's just a couple of questions. It's an anonymous poll. No one will see your answers, but we can share the answers at the end. But no one will know what you chose. So the first one is about your status, and the second one is about just our information. We'd like to know how you heard about this webinar. So we'll keep that running. In the meantime, just for a couple of minutes there. In the meantime, I want to introduce Abra McKean. Thank you, Abra, for joining us today. She's from the Redwood, and she's going to continue that conversation from Avon. Good afternoon to you, and go ahead. The floor is all yours.
Thanks so much, Miles. I'm just going to share my screen, so just bear with me for a moment. Should see the first slide of my presentation. Great. Thank you so much for having me today. Today, I'm actually here to talk about career opportunities in the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, or HVAC industry, being offered by the Redwood. So I will repeat a little bit about what Avon said about who we are at the Redwood. So we operate as both a women's shelter and an anti-violence organization, and our vision is a world where women and their children are free from abuse and all other forms of violence and oppression. We do this through providing programs and services to support women and their children to live and thrive without abuse, homelessness, or poverty. And we serve diverse communities, including the LGBTQ2S+ community and gender non-binary people. So one of the programs that we offer at the Redwood is called Women on the Move Hvac Staffing. It is a social enterprise that provides training and employment opportunities in the HVAC industry. Here at the Redwood, we know that economic security and independence is key for survivors of intimate partner violence to remain free from abuse. And without access to good paying jobs, survivors may return to a dangerous situation, especially if they have children to feed. During COVID-19, this existing crisis of domestic violence has been even more exacerbated, with the numbers of domestic abuse crisis calls skyrocketing as more women have been isolated at home with their abusive partners. This makes opportunities for economic security for survivors of abuse even more pressing. And it's for this reason that the Redwood is providing pathways for women and non-binary folks to enter the HVAC industry. So how come we have chosen the HVAC industry? So HVAC has stood out to the clients and to the staff at the Redwood because it's an industry with incredible potential with regards to salaries, to job opportunities, to industry growth, and to job satisfaction. Just a brief overview of what HVAC is. So it stands for heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. And it refers to the different systems used for moving air between indoor and outdoor areas, along with heating and cooling of residential and commercial buildings. There are many different licenses that people in the HVAC industry can hold, which includes a gas technician license. So gas technicians work in the heating component of the HVAC industry, and they're able to install, inspect, and repair gas lines and gas equipment such as meters, heating units, and appliances, including furnaces, fireplaces, and stoves. So what the Redwood has been doing is providing training for women and non-binary folks to obtain their G2 gas technician licenses, which allows our graduates to be employed in the HVAC industry. So not only does having the license provides you a foot in the door because it allows you to be employed once you have the license. And then once in the door, there are many other pathways you could take in order to expand and increase your qualifications and the corresponding salaries that you can obtain in the HVAC industry while working. For example, you can obtain an apprenticeship and be paid to work towards becoming a G1 gas technician, which is the highest license, as well as becoming a sheet metal, air conditioning, refrigeration, or HVAC mechanic. So I want to talk a little bit more about the benefits of a career in HVAC. in addition to, as I mentioned, earning potential and being able to enter the industry relatively quickly, there are many other benefits currently to starting a career in HVAC. So there's a current and projected need for gas fitters and HVAC technicians in Ontario over the next 10 years. And women in particular are a huge source of untapped labor, as the graph on the left shows. They currently make up only 2% of the HVAC industry, yet almost half of the pool of potential workers in Ontario. COVID-19 has actually created increased demand and visibility of the importance of HVAC because of the need for proper ventilation and air circulation to prevent the spread of COVID, and the need for installing air conditioning in residences, including long-term care homes, in light of the stay-at-home orders. So you may have seen HVAC or HVAC in the media, as I have over the past 8 months or so. And regardless of the situation with the pandemic, HVAC workers are essential service providers, and the work will always be in demand because people always need heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Some of the other features of working as a gas technician that may be attractive to folks who are here: it's a very hands-on and active job rather than a more sedentary type of desk job. It's very versatile. Every day and every job is going to be different. You are utilizing your problem-solving skills in everything that you do. You do get to work independently without direct supervision, but you also get to socialize or interact with your customers and help people when they're in need and stressed out because an important system is broken for them. So this is my contact information. So if my brief introduction to working in HVAC sparks your interest, you can apply to train to obtain your D2 gas fitter's license through the Redwood. The next training session that we're recruiting for starts in early February 2021. But anytime you want to reach out in advance would be great to express your interest and to learn more about the next steps of applying. So you can email me at amckeen@theredwood.com, and my phone number is up there as well, and I can put in the chat after I'm finished. So we are looking for women and non-binary identified people who have done some preliminary exploration of whether a career in HVAC suits them, but we're also here to answer any questions that you have. But before I finish here, I want to talk about the opportunity to be employed by the Redwood social enterprise. So as I mentioned at the top, our enterprise is called Women on the Move HVAC Staffing. So once our trainees have graduated as G2 gas technicians, we provide them with an opportunity to get their foot in the door to the industry through our social enterprise, which acts as a staffing agency. So our staff will be placed in part-time jobs in HVAC with HVAC companies, and we will provide the supports that they need to further their careers, for example, to obtain an apprenticeship or a full-time job in the field. So importantly, through Women on the Move HVAC Staffing, we are providing good living wages. We provide the necessary equipment and the supports that our staff need in order to launch their careers in the HVAC industry. And that's it for me today. So thank you so much for your time. And I believe there now should be perhaps 5 minutes or so for some questions. So maybe I'll let Miles handle that.
Yeah. Thank you, Abra. Appreciate that. We do have some questions coming in. I'm going to start with the first question that came in through the chat room, through the Q&A, sorry. And this is from an anonymous attendee. That person asks, what are the parameters of violence? Is it just physical abuse? And a follow-up to that question is, how do you support a woman who has zero income or work experience? How will she grow herself in Canada? So I think it's multiple questions there in one.
Yeah, I can take a stab, and I feel like maybe Avon may want to jump in as well. So it's not just physical violence, it's multiple forms of violence, emotional violence, sexual violence. Avon may be able to give a bit more detail and nuance to that. And then the second part, the benefit I think of entering in HVAC is that you are starting likely a new career from scratch. So some other experience, for example, in customer service will be helpful, but you are going to be able to learn all the skills that you need within the program, the training program itself. I should mention too that the program takes between 19 and about 35 weeks, depending on whether you're doing full-time or part-time. And we have noticed that it is beneficial if folks have some source of income throughout the training process. We do pay for the training, but you need to be able to attend training, which is a pretty intensive study period, and there's lots of classes to go to. Right now, most of the classes are a combination of virtual and in-person. And if you do not have a GED or a high school diploma, the colleges do provide a sort of an entrance exam that you don't need to study for. It's about 15 minutes, and it kind of asks all the basic questions. And if you pass that, you can still enter the program without that high school diploma. So that can be a benefit to you. And then I'll just leave it to Avon to talk a little bit more.
Miles, can you recap the questions again?
Yes, sure. So the person wants to find out about the parameters of violence if it's just physical abuse, and in specific, how can women be supported if they don't have any means of income, they don't have any jobs, they're not working, and from there, how can they develop in a country like this?
Those are very good questions, actually. But in terms of the violence, as Abra mentioned, comes in many forms of violence. And violence is about power and control, as we know. If somebody's taking away your power and having control over you, that is a form of violence. It could be mental torture. So how do we support a woman? First, as I mentioned before, we are a shelter. We provide shelter for women who are in that situation where they need to get away. So we provide that piece, as I mentioned, about shelter, but we also can provide some coping strategies. And as in the I Determine, when I spoke first, we talked about I Determine, where you can text and talk to somebody, and there's security features in that to help to support somebody to make some decisions, whether the decision is to leave to go to shelter, or the decision is to have some strategies as to how to deal with what's going on in your life. And Miles, if you could throw up that I Determine number again, that opportunity is there. But also there's a crisis line that you can call and talk to a counselor. And that person, it's 24 hours. So at any time that you have some free time, you're certainly welcome to call. And that number is 416-533-8538. I had to think about it there for a second. So those are some of the immediate support that we can provide. And in terms of how somebody can be supported while they're in there are many options. Ontario Works, and you can speak to your counselor that you're already connected with, and they should be able to help you, guide you through some of the sources of income that you can have access to. Yeah, I think those are good places to start. And if, as Abra said, looking at a career alternative or new career to get into, Hvac is one possibility, but I'm sure an employment counselor that you're connected to could also guide you through some of the options that might be available to you.
I could add that maybe I didn't emphasize this too much. So both the training and the employment aspect, we are a supportive organization. So we're also going to provide some emotional supports and counseling for you, in addition to advocacy. So if you are working, we can help you get on OW if you need some advocacy to help with that. And if you are working with an Ontario Works caseworker, we can help advocate for you through communicating with them and just helping you know what you have access to and what your rights are. And then in the job, if you're working for the Redwood, we're supporting you with workshops and skill building workshops and so on.
But also there are many opportunities across Ontario of support services like ours and MNLCT that are able to support you with counseling and resources. And I'm sure at some point we'll be able to give you some resources for when you leave here today that you can tap into.
Yeah, I would like to just interject. Thank you so much. One of those resources that we recently launched, actually, it's an app. It's a Newcomer app that we've been trying to advertise openly, and it's proven to be very, very helpful and successful. So the app is just it's simple to sign. It's an iSent app, so you can locate it in the App Store or the Android store. And the idea behind it was anyone, any client, any newcomer can reach out to us. First of all, they can find out a wealth of information from mental health, from employment opportunities, how to navigate various systems in the country, and they can also reach out to us if they have questions. They can book appointments. The app is also we developed it in 4 languages. So if you so aside from English, if you're an Arabic speaker, Spanish speaker, or Mandarin speaker, you'll find that it's adaptable to those languages. So I just wanted to mention that really quickly is that a lot of organizations are looking, thinking outside the box. How can we reach out? How can we make all these tools more accessible? Like what you've mentioned, Abra. I don't know if we have any more questions. Was there anything else to add there from your end, Avon or Abra?
I can't think of, I'm sure there are some that we've left off because we have a wide swath of support services, but by all means, get in touch and we'll be able to support you from there. And the information is in the chat, and I'm sure I can speak for Abra that she will welcome the opportunity to explore Hvac as an option for you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, no, that's a great opportunity. And also, they're all, both of you will be here till the end. If anyone has any more questions, or if you're not, they can still reach out and connect with you. Thank you for having your email, account there. My colleague also sharing with the panelists the iSent app the Newcomer app that I just mentioned. So you can go to MNLCT.org /APP, and you can also check that out. Okay, so thank you so much again to Redwood. Our next speaker is from Teleperformance. It's an international company, well known. Mohammed is the bilingual recruiter. He's also a talent acquisition specialist. He works in customer service and the technical. He has a technical background as well, from what I understand, and works in that field. So I understand that you have also opportunities to share, Mohammed. So, but first of all, please introduce yourself. Tell us more about your role and what Teleperformance does and what you have for us today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mile. Thank you so much for this invitation. And thank you so much for the group for this opportunity to join us and to join your career fair. We are so proud for this. Teleperformance, as you said, it's a worldwide company. It's a French company based. We are located in more than 80 countries, and we help people as a third party. We hire a lot of people as a customer service and technical support, and we help the newcomers for the first new experience here in Canada, for the customer service, for people who speak French and speak English, Portuguese, German, Italy, so more languages. And as I said, we have a lot of opportunities with us. We have process for hiring. I am the recruiter here. I am the bilingual recruiter. I will take all your resumes and I will call you one by one for the screening and for the interviews. and maybe I will share my email. The candidates can see my email, Miles. You are on mute, Miles.
Sorry about that. The moderators.
Yeah, no problem. If I can share my email,
Sure.
maybe with the candidates, or I will send you my email and send me all the resumes. I will call them and I will explain them the process of the hiring with Teleperformance.
Yeah, you can include in the chat room, and then we can broadcast that in the chat room.
Okay, perfect. So right now we have a lot of hiring, and we need a lot of candidates for the bilingual and for people who speak just English. And we have a test for the process of our recruitments. We have a test. It's English skills. We will send you this link, and after I will call you back and I will explain you the next steps of our hiring. And also we have something, it's the VRO, it's the Virtual Recruitment Office. We provide this Virtual Recruitment Office all the days from Toronto and Montreal, and there is a lot of candidates, they will come for the VRO. We make screening and we provide them direct hiring. And also we help the newcomers for the first experience, Canadian experience, and they know the Canadian workplace. That's it. Thank you so much, Miles, again. And I will share my email ID for them. Okay?
Yeah, no, thank you, Mohammed. While you're doing that, I may have a question for you.
Yes.
Since in your field, is it a growing field? Is it a field that
we provide the training, and always we provide training for the newcomers, and we provide training for the new hires, for the customer service, and also for the technical support. Right now we have Scotiabank for the hiring as a customer service. We have Klarna, we have multinational American companies, we have ACA, we have Philips Dental. As I told you, we have a lot of campaign for this. Okay, and we provide a training for the first step, and after you will be with us, and there is growing opportunities with us, and you can make a career in the call center.
That sounds very promising. How much, just from your background, your knowledge, how much what type of, I guess, background do you need to apply for these positions? Do you need a lot of experience?
Oh, it depends on the experience. It depends on the customer service. Yeah, sometimes we need a customer service, and sometimes we need the people who are beginner, and we provide them the training to join our company.
Okay, so that's helpful to know, because at this moment in time, I think a lot of people, although they may be pursuing their dream career, but they need something in the interim, or they sometimes switch careers, right?
Yes.
So you're looking for, I guess, most employers look for a long-term contract, right?
Yeah, there is a long-term contract and there is a seasonal contract. So for the first step, we hire them as a 3 months, and it depends on the performance. If they have good performance, we will switch them for a permanent position.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you. There are a couple of questions. There's a question for you, Mohammed, here.
Yes.
There's 2 questions. First, I don't know if this applies per se, but Renee is asking, are all these opportunities, it seems like they're for women and youth. What about men? And can somebody...
Oh, there is for men and women. We don't hire just women. We hire all the kinds of people, women and men's.
I think that goes for all the speakers here too. I mean, but I just wanted to make sure Renee got that message. So if
they think we are like Redwood. No, we are not like Redwood. We hire men and women. Yeah,
I mean, at the end of the day, organizations are, this is an equal opportunity.
Yes, this is equal opportunity. Yes,
exactly. There's a question here. Another one from Empathy. Is it only for the bilingual or only English-speaking candidates that can apply?
Yeah, we need English-speaking candidates first, and if you have a French or other language, it will be asset.
Right. So that's another thing that it's important to know, that I know from being working at MNLCT, we have the Link program that actually helps newcomers adjust to this environment by teaching them English language. So, and there's different levels. So I know different organizations ask for different levels. Usually level 6 is the norm. Link 6. I don't know if you're familiar.
We have a link for the English test. It's a grammar and typing.
Okay.
For all the candidates, we will send them the link for the skills for the English assessment, and we will see their English. If they have good score, we will continue the process of the recruitments with them.
Excellent. That's good to know that employers also are working to help potential employees on different fronts. Someone here is asking, is this a recruitment agency?
No, we have the direct hiring with Teleperformance. It's not a recruitment agency.
And someone else is asking if the training is free or paid.
No, it's paid.
Can you give us a little bit more information about how that works?
Oh, the training, it's paid. You will get the salary as normal.
Okay, so the employee, just to clarify, the trainee is not paying to get the training. The organization is paying you to be part of that training.
Yeah, we will, for your first time, we are hired with Teleperformance. The training, we pay you the training too. You are working normal. As the training is the working normal hours.
See, that's quite great. A lot of people don't realize that companies actually invest in human resources in that way. So you're actually being paid. So you're being treated like an employee from day one. I mean, you should be, but you are a paid employee.
Yeah.
Excellent. And then another question here for you, Mohammed, is this opportunity, is it permanent? Is it a permanent position or is it a contract position?
Yeah, you start with a contract position for the first time, and it depends on your performance. If you have a good performance, we will switch you for a permanent contract.
And are you open to sharing the pay as the starting pay? And someone is saying here that if they're an experienced person, do they get more pay? I don't know if you're comfortable sharing that, but
no, the payroll, it's the same, but it depends on the campaign, and it depends on your English skills too.
Okay. Are you open to sharing how much people get paid, or is that?
I can share for Ontario. It's starting with $14.75 to $18.
Okay. So there are benefits, I guess.
Yeah, and there is a benefits for this. Yeah.
All right. Someone just asking to share information. So we'll share his information at the end again. It's in the chat room, his email. So it's mohammed.tahar.bulmazat@teleperformance.com. I've just included that in the chat room again as we speak. A couple more questions here, Mohammed, before we move on to our next speaker. Do you have an apprenticeship program?
No, we haven't.
Okay, well, I guess that's it from
yeah, by the way, yeah, you make something very useful. We hire people as a full-time position. They are eligible to work 40 hours a week. We don't hire students. We hire permanent residents and for people who has the work permit.
That's very good, because I mean, most of our attendees here are
students.
Fit that bill. So I think you heard it first here. So go ahead and for those job seekers, please go ahead and connect with Mohammed. Mohammed, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, and we thank you for your organization for opening up those type of opportunities, especially during this pandemic.
Thank you so much, Mike, for this invitation. And I will return at 3 o'clock.
No, I mean, this is your speaking session, but you can stay here as long as you want. Towards the end, we may have more questions. So if you'd like,
I will stay.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I want to introduce Kate, our next speaker. In just a minute. Kate is from the fast food chain called Jollibee, which is well known. but before I do that, we have another poll that I would like to run as we speak. And I encourage, this is open to everyone here, all the attendees. And today we're giving away some giveaways by some generous donors. Some will be some gift cards to spend during the holiday season. But let me launch our second poll. And like I said earlier, these polls are anonymous. So no one will see your answers, what you wrote. So feel free to answer however you like. So this is more about your current employment status. We'd like to know if you're employed, you're unemployed, maybe you're self-employed or retired. So you can choose. That's the first question. The second question is, if you are unemployed, how long have you been without a job? So if it's more than 2 years, 3 to 6 months, there's different options there. And if you, I know a lot of people lost their jobs during this pandemic, so we'd like to know if you did. And if you are still looking for a job, how is that working for you? Is it working well? Is it not? Has it been a frustrating experience? Are you still on the job hunt, or maybe for other reasons? So I'll leave that open while we introduce our next speaker. And I'm next. Kate, is your camera on, your video on? Hello, Kate, can you hear us? Okay, maybe we'll give her a couple of minutes there, but we also have, we can move on to our next speaker, Jocelyn. I know Jocelyn, you're there. Sorry to surprise you there, but I know you're also on the, good afternoon to you, Jocelyn.
Good afternoon, Miles. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not so much ready with with introducing our company because I thought Lina will still be here to provide information. However, she has to leave, I believe, for another appointment. So I'll try my best to give you a little bit of background of our company. So yeah, first of all, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jocelyn. So I'm actually the care coordinator of C Care Health Services. C Care has been around more than 20 years, actually started by Lina. So we provide home care service, nurse staffing to facilities like hospitals or retirement homes, clinics, things like that. We provide personal support workers, mostly for clients who are elderly clients who have dementia, things like that. We also provide service for clients who had surgeries, like post-op care, things like that. So yeah, so actually it's great to be in this group, knowing that, you know, we are accepting applicants even who just came or arrived here in Canada, you know, just settling. Those who are nurses back home, or we call them internationally educated nurses, and are just actually trying to, you know, get their license here, you know, so they can actually send their resume, you know, to our website, and our receptionist will, you know, review their resume, and then once they're okay, like seems like they have a good experience in terms of nursing, then our receptionist will send that to Lina, and Lina will do the interview. So that's the process. We were also right now, because it's pandemic, so the qualifications, we have actually, you know, lowered our qualifications, unlike before that we only hire registered personal support worker, those who are licensed here. But because of this pandemic, you know, we try to you know, hire as well, even though they are not they don't have this certificate as PSW, But then if they are nurses back home, or they have nursing back education, we try to accept them based on their experience and the readiness as well to handle this job. So they can just like even like the international students, so we try to help them as well. International students who are studying nursing. So I think what I can do is just if members, or what do you call them, your clients, what do you call them, Miles?
Clients.
Clients.
But they become our, I guess, our friends too.
Like friends, family of this community. You can just refer them to our website, which is www.c-care.ca.
Can you, Jocelyn, if you don't mind, type that in the chat room to all the attendees, and then I know Lena is going to join us soon, right? So we can.
I'm not so sure. I don't think so. I think he already left for an appointment, Miles.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Hold on, because she told me that I'll just take care. www.c-care.ca.
Yeah. In the meantime, there's a few questions here, Jocelyn, and I think some of them, they're overlapping. They may be for Mohammed as well. So Mohammed, since you're on board, let me, if you don't mind, while we're still
go ahead. I want to answer the questions. Yeah.
This is an open forum. So there was a question for you about if the work area is only in Toronto.
We have to. Oh, this is for me or for Jocelyn?
This is for you.
Okay, we have Toronto, we have Montreal, we have Nova Scotia, we have New Brunswick, and we have Manitoba.
Okay, and Jocelyn, I'd like to hear your answer too.
Oh, okay. Most of our clients are actually here in Toronto, Etobicoke area, Scarborough. We have from Richmond Hill as well. Very, very few at Mississauga, actually. So basically, we operate here in GTA.
Okay. There was someone asking in the, I guess they missed the first part of your intro there, Jocelyn, what organization you work for. So it's C-Care Health Services. Maybe
Correct.
you can just give us just a little bit more information about your company. Just briefly. I know you talked about that, but.
Yeah. So we are a private care agency. We provide PSW, or we hire PSW. Certified personal support workers, nurses, and nurses that would include RNs and RPNs. So basically, we provide service to elderly clients who are based at home, clients who are in the hospital. As you work there as a private caregiver or a companion. However, we also provide staffing service to hospitals and retirement homes. Like for instance, basically we are always being asked, by UHN hospitals, Toronto General Hospitals, and we send nurses there who do floor duties. Mm-hmm. So that's not only like as a private companion, but as well as we provide staffing service to the nursing department.
On that note, on PSW training, she's asking, do you provide training for PSW?
Right now, as I told you that, yeah, we do hire not licensed PSW, right? Like for instance, newcomers here. So yeah, we do provide them sort of orientation. So they have a list of orientation, and being me as the care coordinator, before we send them to a client, I usually give them or explain them the care plan, tell them about this client and what's the care about. Other than that, they go through an orientation of our company.
Okay, and so PSW stands for Personal Support Worker.
Correct.
You don't know. So someone's asking if you want to become a personal support worker and you have no experience and training, what can you do?
Oh, okay. So the best thing is actually to enroll in PSW school. Unfortunately, we don't have a school, but yeah, they can just Google, I believe, personal support schools that offer personal support worker degree or certificate.
And if someone is asking, Carolina here is asking, she's interested in studying to be a paramedic. Can you guide her?
Oh, unfortunately, no. I'm not so sure. Like, what's the process becoming a paramedic?
Okay. Well, I guess that's a different story. So maybe Carolina, you can reach out. Actually, you can reach out to us at MNLCT. Maybe we can, one of our employment specialists can maybe guide you which way to go after the session, or where to go to. But I also want to. There's a couple of questions here for you, Jocelyn. Do you provide counseling sessions to clients?
Counseling. What do you mean counseling sessions?
Well, I guess I'm not sure, but I guess counseling. Since we're talking about healthcare, I'm guessing it's more about mental health counseling.
Oh, just companionship though.
Okay.
For clients who need help, like if they are going some kind of emotional yeah challenges, something like that.
Right.
I think basically it's, I think, companionship. Yeah, that's the thing that we provide.
Right. Well, we have Ines here from MNLCT mental health department, and I don't know if Ines, if you're unmuted there, because we provide counseling as well at MNLCT, but I'd rather her say that. So if someone is looking for counseling, they can also get in touch with us. Ines is going to speak at the end, but I would like to just give her the floor just for a couple of minutes there. Go ahead, Ines.
Hi. Yeah, welcome everybody. Thank you. Yeah, no, we offer mental health counseling at Mennonite. So you just call to our number. I'm going to put it right now on the chat. And then we have this support. Yes. Also, I was going to say about the PSW. Yeah, there are many colleges that they are offering career colleges. I'm looking now to put in the chat. There is there is Ontario has like a list of many. There is online also. There are short courses. But I had this question, Jocelyn. So even if the person, for instance, there are nurses that come from the country that they don't, so they are not, they don't have the certificate, but then they can maybe work with you.
Yes,
Like they are people that has experience helping other people. So yeah, the best way I think that would be to contact you maybe, and then you do an assessment, no? An assessment to see if your training is, if they have enough or like the basic information or training, then that then you can, complete and support them, no?
Right, sure, definitely. As long as they have to make sure that, when they make their resume, they have to indicate all their nursing experience there, even back home. We need to see that.
Yeah. Or even accompanying people, like the experience that they have about caring about other people, no?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And please call, our center, and we'll put here the number, and then we can give this support and mental health, especially in this time about the stress, the challenging times, we can support. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Ines, for that. I wanted to bring you in because I know you're very passionate about what you do too. And a lot of people know you in the industry. But another question for you here is from Renee. She says, if someone doesn't have a background in healthcare, could they be a candidate?
What do you mean healthcare? Like,
so like, do you have, I guess, if you have other job opportunities that are not health related within your organization?
How not healthcare related?
Yes, so yeah, I
However,
mean, you could be an admin or you could work as an accountant. I don't know. I'm just,
basically, somebody with experience in terms of nursing or healthcare, really. Other than that, I cannot think of, something that we can offer.
okay. And there's a couple of questions here because I know Mohammed wants to leave. He may not stay till the end. But I think it applies to both. Is can you work from home? So let me start with you, Jocelyn, and now I'll move to you, Mohammed. Are there opportunities in your organization to work from home, Jocelyn?
Oh, well, personally, because I work as care coordinator, so I work from home right now. But mostly, most of our staff are actually, with our clients, in in the home of our clients, in the hospitals, things like that. So other than maybe, well, all of us, all of us who work in the office are actually working from home. So if you if you visit our website, we have there our mainline number. So if they call that, the receptionist usually gets the call, or our director of operations, mostly our receptionist. And then, but she is actually at home. But our let's call that one, interviews are being conducted virtually as well by Lina.
Okay. A couple more questions, Jocelyn, before we move to the next session, and I'll get to you, Mohammed, in a second. I have some questions for you, but two more questions for you, and we'll move to the next segment. We have Sandra here asking about the level of English that you require.
To be honest, as long as you can understand and express yourself, right?
Okay.
Basically, I find here in Canada, we are not so much particular with the correct grammar, as long as you're able to convey what you want to say and you're able to understand what the client is saying, right? I think that's the main thing.
One other one from a different person, Sandra. She asked, would you ever request for a speech language pathologist?
Usually so I believe this is somebody who is practicing privately, right?
Yeah.
To be honest, we don't recommend language pathologist. If a client does need to be assessed by an SLP, I usually just ask the family to call in, to be honest.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for Jocelyn.
No worries.
Yeah, no, thank you for being here today. We really appreciate the opportunity. And then if you want to drop in your email or some, and not yours, whatever email they can send their resumes to, or they have more questions, anyone who's attending today, please, drop that in the chat to all the attendees. But for those of you who are interested more in C-Care, just their website is www.c, as in Charlie, -care.ca. So c-care.ca. Justin, thank you once again.
You're welcome.
And stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you as well for the time given to us.
You are most welcome anytime. So again, if anyone wants to speak and ask questions, just click on the icon, raise your hand, and I will unmute you, and you can take the floor. Before we move on to our next panelist, who's from Jollibee, her name is Kate Dacumos. I've got two questions for you, Mohammed, that came in while you were ending that segment. One is about working from home, because I know in your industry that is quite a normal thing to do.
Yeah, during the pandemic now it's working from home, but after the pandemic, maybe you will return to the office. But there is a clients, they require just work from home. And we have clients like Scotiabank, there is a work just on sites. It's not work from home. But all our clients working from home due to the coronavirus, and after the pandemic, he will return to the office.
Right. Okay, great. So because that's good to know. I know the industry has changed a lot, so there has been
Yes.
talk about a lot of organizations are now thinking about post-pandemic whether they will, retain that element of working from home because it's
Yes.
more efficient or cost-effective, what have you. One more question for you here. Are the teleperformance jobs, well, I guess, oh, that's the same one I came, remote or office-based? So we know that in general, are they more remote in the industry?
Yeah, right now we have a lot, all the clients, it's remotes, work from home due to the pandemic, but just our clients is Scotiabank. Scotiabank, it's work on site, it's not work from home.
Right. Thank you so much for that, Mohammed. If there's more questions in the end, we'll shoot
No
that.
problem. Thank you so much for this invitation, Miles.
You're welcome. Thank you. Kate, Kate is from Jollibee. Thank you for joining us. I will ask you to unmute. She's our panelist. Kate's camera is not working this afternoon, but we can hear you if you, she will present audio. Kate, good afternoon. Can you hear me? Hello, Kate. You are now unmuted, so you can, the floor is all yours. I think she was ready to speak, but I don't know if we can't hear you, Kate, if you're talking. All right, maybe we'll come back to you in a minute while we sort that out. There's probably some technical issue. But anyway, we have our technical team in the background working. We can work with Kate. But in the meantime, actually, one more question for you while we're filling in that. Someone's asking Mohammed about the resume. I will put in your, we already, if you scroll up in the chat room, we have a few numbers there. So you can send it directly to Mohammed if you're interested in teleperformance. And the email is in the chat room already, but we will put all those contacts in the end that you may have missed. I want to, while we're sorting out, trying to figure out what's wrong there with Kate's line, we're trying to reconnect with her. We have Julianne Young, who will be speaking, who can speak next. Julianne?
Miles, sorry for the interruption.
Go ahead.
I will share with all your candidates. There is a link. It's a Zoom. It's our VRO. It's our virtual recruitment office. So our VRO, it's all the day from 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock. I will share with them this Zoom link. You can join this VRO at all the time. Okay?
Okay. Yep. Please, can you drop it in the chat room?
Yes, perfect.
Thank you so much. I'm going to run another poll while we're waiting for Kate to join in. And we have Julianne, who's also joining us as well. We'll be speaking in a second. I have the one more poll to go.
Sorry, Miles. I have Kate on my cellular. I don't know if we can, because she has some problems. So we can try if you can talk and then maybe through my cellular. Let's see.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, good afternoon. Sorry about that.
Do you hear?
Yeah.
Miles.
Yes, I can hear her. We can try that for and see how that works, because sometimes Zoom does not pick up the different frequencies, but
okay.
Let's try it. It sounds okay from my end.
Okay, hey, Kate.
Yes, hi. I'm sorry about that. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Kate. Yeah. It's like a jolly greeting. This is jolly afternoon, each and every one of you. Thank you for inviting us for represent the Jollibee Food Corporation. Okay. I just wanna give a brief information about the Jollibee, how it began. So Jollibee Food Corporation is we have the mission in our company to serve great tasting food, bringing the joy of eating to everyone. And we also have the mission for the Jollibee. It's the top 5 restaurant companies in the world in terms of market capital. So it comes with a humble beginning with opening of the parlor ice cream in the Philippines.
Sorry, just to, so you have supermarkets and restaurants?
No, before it was a parlor ice cream.
Or
in
parlor
the Philippines.
ice cream?
Yes. And then some of the customers love the ice cream, so they suggest if they make like burgers, and then later on burgers comes with fries, spaghetti, and chicken.
So you have ice cream, burgers, and spaghettis. You produce
and chicken.
and chicken.
Yes.
So what kind of jobs, are you offering, or how is the job search, the job market, what can you offer to our participants?
To taste the great food of the chicken, fried chicken, chicken joy.
But to work is a I don't understand very well. Is a factory, or where or they are the?
No, it's a fast food chain.
Oh,
restaurant.
fast food chain. Okay, restaurant. Now I understand. Okay, and you are hiring now. You are hiring people.
Because Jollibee started to have the company in Jollibee first in Jollibee, Winnipeg. There's a 2 store there.
In Winnipeg.
And then yes, in Winnipeg. And then here in Toronto, there are store opening 2 more store. So 5 stores are opening now here in Toronto.
So 5 stores are opening now in Toronto.
Yes.
Okay. So can you write in the chat maybe the name of the company and like a little bit your contact information, so maybe people can contact you?
Sure, no problem. So I'm just gonna put here.
Okay. So it's more customer service. You are looking for people for customer service.
Customer service, yes, that's the main priority. And the second is bringing the food taste of the standard of how you doing cooking of the chicken joy.
Okay, so you are also looking for cookers, people that cook the food.
Yes, cooking, then customer service.
Okay, great.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for joining there. Ines, if you, or if you can hear me, I think yeah, Kate, thank you so much. I know we're having, I appreciate you doing this despite the connection going faulty. But if we can get a contact that we can share with our audience today. So for all those job opportunities that your organization has, at least they can have a contact. So can we drop that in the chat room?
I'm just gonna put the email address there and the phone number of our store.
Yeah.
So they can send their email and they can call us also.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank
on the
you so
chat,
much.
we appreciate. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Thank you, Ines, as well for coordinating. In the meantime, I want to introduce our next speaker, Julianne Young, who's been waiting from the very start of the show. But Julianne is from Brands for Canada, which is one of our community partners. We really appreciate all you're doing, and thank you so much for being patient and waiting and joining us today. We're anxious to hear what you have to say about, I know you're coming in from a different perspective today, and we're anxious to know how we can, or people can navigate the market at the moment. I know Julianne has been a lead facilitator in a program called Suitable Impressions Program, SIP in short, and it's a soft skills workshop that focuses on the first impressions for individuals looking to get back in the workforce. So she'll be talking more about that as well as an organization. Julianne, welcome again. The floor is all yours. If you're ready, go ahead.
Hey, thank you, and hello to everyone. As Mal just mentioned, I work for a company called Brands for Canada, and we've been around now for about 29 years. And what we do is we provide clothing for individuals that are looking to get back into the workforce. So we're in partnership with a lot of agencies, like a lot of the youth agencies as well as the Ontario Works offices across the city. And what we do is we focus more on first impressions. So sometimes that's all it really takes is just to build someone's confidence and self-esteem. So I was intently listening to what some of the speakers mentioned earlier, and a lot of attention is put on finding the job, making sure the resume is good, doing all the mock interviews, all of these different things. However, the importance as well is also on first impressions, because we know when how important that is, and it only takes about 5 to 7 seconds for an individual to make an opinion if they're going to be hiring someone or not. So this is where we come in, where we focus more on first impressions. We focus we talk a lot, we go into details about emotions as well, job retention. A lot of us can find work, but keeping the work sometimes is a big problem, because we don't deal with the emotional issues that we have. And usually we take things from our personal lives into the workforce. So we can do all these amazing things. We can, make sure the resume is good, all of these different things. But if we don't take care of our emotional issues, and also communicating well, communicating what you're feeling, communicating, what's going on with you, and finding that work sometimes won't last very long. So this is where we come in, as well as we also talk about the different industry types. So we break those down in details as to how to dress appropriately for those interviews. So the way someone would dress for a formal corporate position will not be the same way that they would dress for a business casual position. So we break those down in details, and we talk about those, and we talk about the importance as well of focus. We also talk about the importance of setting goals for yourselves. So it's a very fast-paced workshop. Usually it's about one day pre-COVID, but now things are a little bit different. So so as Brands for Canada, which is our suitable impressions workshop, this is our main focus, is to make sure that the client is comfortable when going for the interview, not only feeling comfortable, but looking the part, which is, it's really important. However, as I mentioned earlier, we also focus on emotions, on self-esteem, and all these different things. So we want to make sure that they're not just looking good on the outside, but they feel good on the inside, which is where the confidence and the self-esteem and the emotions, learning to understand what's going on, finding what those triggers are that is hindering you from getting to the next level. And usually it's about just communicating your feelings, and communicating in a way that you're expressing and you're setting boundaries and you're asking for what you want, right? A lot of us have a lot of problems doing that. So clients work appropriate clothing. So we not just say, oh, this is how you're to look for this industry type, but we also give them brand new clothing for interviews. All right. Because we are a clothing bank, we have a lot of brand new clothing which is donated from local stores. So all the stores that you guys may be familiar with, like Banana Republic, Gap, H&M Moores, at the end of each season, those items are donated to our agencies, and we use those items to support our 2 programs or 2 pre-employment program. We do have an OW program, which is what I talked about a few minutes ago. We also have an ODSP program, which is a longer program. So we do have a couple programs within the Brands for Canada organizations that are pre-employment programs. So right, all of our clothing are all brand new. We also talk about the importance of hygiene, you know. So we focus a lot on, you know, not just the clothing, but the personal hygiene. We talk about the uncomfortable things that sometimes, you know, it's a little bit hard to discuss. We give clients tips that will just help them to be successful when they go for an interview, and not just for an interview. So a lot of the things that we do discuss in the workshop, this is why we call it a life skills workshop, because they'll be able to take it from, you know, to use these information in all areas of their lives. Okay, we also do incorporate a financial literacy component in our workshop as well. So we teach clients, you know, money management. We don't call it budgeting. We call it money management, how to be aware of what's coming in, what's going out. Ask yourself some key questions. Is this a need or a want? So our workshop is geared, and it's very, it's set up in a way that, you know, a client will be able to, if someone is really great at budgeting and someone else is not, so it's, you know, little pieces for every individual that attends our workshop. As well as right now we do have everything that a client would need to be to look the part in an interview. We have brand new suits, we have shoes, we supply the clients with personal care items like shampoo, conditioner, deodorant, toothpaste, lotion, body wash, all these different things. So again, we not just talk about this is what you need to do, this is how you're to look. We supply the clients with all the important and all the things that's needed in order for them to, you know, look, because sometimes, you know, as I mentioned, is unfortunately we live in a very superficial world. So people will look at an individual and right away, you know, they make the decision, okay, this person I'm not going to hire because they don't fit their, you know, their quota or their image of what someone should look like, right? So we do spend a lot of time there, making sure that the client look the part or the role that they're applying for, okay? So we talk about the internal, we also talk about the external, right? Because we know confidence is not from the outside, it's from the inside out. So this is how the workshop is formatted in a way where, you know, we work from inside out, all right? So clients are, you know, quite confident when they leave our workshop, and, you know, they feel, they look at things differently, because the workshop is set up is that, you know, we sometimes go into places that just kind of have an individual thinking about why they keep making the same mistakes, okay? So we talk about why someone is not able to keep a job. So we go through all these different things. All right. All right. Any questions for me? I actually have my contact information in, I think I did put it in the chat a few minutes ago. You're muted, Miles.
Sorry about that. I forgot. I was listening to you. I got carried. You know, it was so interesting that I forgot about myself. But I guess I'm a good listener, right?
Yes,
No,
you are.
my teacher used to say. But I just put that. I entered your details again for those who have missed it. But we've got it. That's quite really great what you're doing. I think a lot of interviews, I know for sure from my part, when I used to go for an interview is, you get some prep talk from here, there, from your friends, like, what should I, and everyone has a theory, how you should dress up, how you should look, how you should play the part. But body language plays a key role. Body language is very key, and it's something that we're doing 24/7, right? Subconsciously. And I guess there's different levels. You can go to the extreme where I think the in thing now with politicians is the thumb, and you've seen this, that there's been a lot of talk about. So I mean, everything has a limit. So how do you coach them on that as well, like how to play the part, or do you ask them more to be themselves and act natural when they go?
Oh no, 100% is to be authentic. You have to be, as an individual, to be authentic to yourself. This is why we do the workshop working on self. And, because, there's so many people that thinks that, once you look, I'm not saying, I would be shooting myself in the foot if I say looking good is not important, because that's what we do here in the workshop. But what I'm saying is, it's not the most important thing. The most important thing is to get to know you, your individual self, and to be authentic to yourself. So this is why we do the workshop the way we do the workshop, and we end it with the clothing. So like the body, the body shape. We all have different body shapes. So we end the program that way, right? So we spend most of the time on the internal work. So always be authentic to yourself. I always say, don't go in an interview and try to be someone else, right? It will work for a while, right? But eventually you will be found out.
That's right.
Right? So the best thing is to be authentic to yourself. And if you don't know something, just say you don't know, right? That's okay. And what you do is you learn the next time. Right? And what happens is that when you go for your interviews and you don't get that job maybe 3-4 times, right? Each of those interviews, you should use those as a learning for your next time. What did I learn from these 5 interviews that I can improve on for the next time?
Right. And I mean, no interview is the same, right? It's all
exactly
different.
right. But like you get more comfortable, like in terms of speaking to stranger. I know for myself, as an immigrant myself, when I first moved here in my country, we don't do formal interviews like here, like what they do here, right? So my first few interviews, I was an absolute nervous wreck because I didn't have agencies like my agencies or your agencies to prep me or teach me. I just kind of went, on my own, right? So I had to learn because I wasn't familiar with these structured questions, like what they do here, right? So for an example, the interviewer asked me, tell me about yourself. And I went into something personal, like, how many siblings I had, my age, all of these different things. But now after that, I realized that's not what he was asking, right?
People think that like the questions are tricky or not, but they're pretty much straightforward, right? I mean, it's just they just want to hear how you communicate. It's not
right.
It's not what you've done as much as who you are, right? That stands out. A lot of people.
So we spend a good amount of time just kind of going through what's expected when you go for your interview. As well, an interview, when you look at it, is just a conversation between potential employer and employee. Really, that's what it is, right? It's a conversation between two people that need each other, right? So employer need the employee as much as 50-50. It's a 50-50 partnership, right? So there's a lot of things that happens when you go, and it's all mental. It's in how you think about an interview, really.
Right.
So we give little tips like these, and just you know what, they need you as much as you need them, right? So we don't want to go into interviews thinking that you're inferior to anyone, right? So all these little things that we go into details on, so it's not, and I do understand some people get seriously nervous, and I do get that. I do understand it. But like I said, the more interviews you go on, the more comfortable you start to feel after a while. So don't just think that when you go for an interview, oh my God, I didn't get the job, and then that's it. There's something there for you to learn and use for your next time.
Yeah, you mentioned a very interesting point there that the employer needs you as much as the employee needs to get that job, because so we shouldn't forget that every person is a brand. You are a brand, right? And you're brands for Canada. So it's how you build that brand image that matters as well. A lot of people here are asking attendees, how do you participate in the workshop?
So for the 1-day workshop is it's for clients that is on OW. So if someone is receiving Ontario Works and they're looking to get back into the workforce, then they will have to go through their social worker. The offices know about us, and the social worker will refer them, and there's a fee that the social worker will pay. So it's free to the client. However, there is a cost for attending, which is covered by OW.
And is it just one workshop, 1-day workshop, or are there several different workshops that you can?
Right now, usually it's a long day, like from 9 in the morning till 3. But now the workshop is done virtual, so it's kind of like a 2-day. So the virtual, and then there will be a separate appointment for clients to come in here in our office to choose the clothing.
Okay. And so if people are interested in taking this and they are on Ontario Works, do they contact you, or they have to go to the social worker?
They can reach out to me first. And what I can do is just to give them additional information, because I know sometimes, like in these kind of settings, we're all trying to go so fast. So if they want to reach out to me first, then I can give them additional information, or they could go on our website, and the instruction is there as well.
Okay. Someone's asking, Johannes here is asking, are you involved in resume preparation?
For the 1-day workshop, we do not, because we know a lot of agencies that we work with, they do resume preparation. We can talk about a lot of things, what to do, but in terms of helping clients with resumes and cover letter, we do not. We do not, because a lot of our agencies, they already do those things. So we try to cover things, not to duplicate what's already provided for the client.
Someone's asking here about your location.
We're located in South Etobicoke, close to Kipling Subway, Islington Subway, and Royal York Subway.
Okay, that's good. By the subway, you can't miss them. Easy access. So Satya asked that question, and I think we have someone waiting here that wants to speak. I'm going to give them the floor. I don't know if the question was Taran Beer has been waiting, but I don't know if this applies to you or the previous speaker. But anyway, Taran Beer, Handa, can you go ahead?
Hi, Miles. Thank you so much. So my question is like for Jocelyn or other, healthcare providers. So one of the programs she was mentioning that the nurses and they're going to the customer's home for delivering nurses services. So my question is, I have already sent that into question and answer. Do you hire counselors for the in-house sessions or virtual sessions? Mental health counselors, I mean. Because my area of specialization is a mental health. So.
Okay. Unfortunately, no. We only hire PSW, RPNs, and RNs. And as I told you, like those who have nursing education back home or nurses back home, international students who are enrolled in nursing, any nursing course here, are welcome. However, for somebody who is like a counselor, right? Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have those positions.
No worries. Thank you so much for the clarification.
Thank you, Jocelyn. Thank you.
Thank you, Miles.
Do you have another question for Julie, or?
No, I don't have. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry to interrupt. Hold on. Taranbir, I think, is he still there?
Yeah, we can bring him back.
Yeah, maybe he can type his information. I will have coming a meeting with the other officers of our nurses association here, and we will be talking about this. How we could assist clients or people who are struggling right now emotionally. We have one speaker, and I believe I can also, maybe Ines can also be a good person for this, right? So I think this meeting is really very helpful for me to connect you as well in our association.
That sounds great.
Yeah. So thank you. Maybe I can get that number of who is that person? I'm very bad with names.
Yeah, he's on the chat, so we'll share that with you directly if he wants to, and I can put you through to him.
Yeah, he's a counselor, right? Assisting those who are having challenges with emotionally, something like that.
Right. So he just wrote his number down, so you can take a note of that, Jocelyn. But I'm saying, if there's any more questions outside, we can bring in we'll have a Q&A session separately. But I want to, sorry, Julia, I didn't mean to interrupt you. But I don't see any more questions coming in Julie, there is actually a couple more questions. Satya here is asking about the registration and how he can contact you. So that's Satya, that's in the chat already. You can contact her directly by email or by phone. Contact Julie. And someone else is asking about the length of the workshop. So we said it's a one-day workshop, but you said it's also could go over 2 days, right? Since it's virtual.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Perfect.
This is the new world.
It is. But I wanted to ask you a question for those who are not on Ontario Works and they don't have that benefit. Is there a program like yours that they could take, or can they pay for that if they wanted some? Because it's quite interesting.
Yeah. So we have a couple options. If the client is able to pay out of pocket, we can see the client. However, if the client is not able to pay out of pocket, our second program, as I mentioned earlier, which is our ODSP program, that is a free program. And that program is for an entire month, 4 weeks. All right. So if they're not on ODSP, they don't have to be on ODSP. But if they do self-identify with any sort of a disability, whether it's anxiety, depression, they don't have to get it diagnosed. They just have to identify, feel like they get anxiety for whatever reason. That is a free program. All right. They do receive some clothing there as well and personal care items. And there's a lot more topics that is covered in that workshop. Okay, topics like how to handle disabilities in the workplace. They talk about relationships and emotions as well. They do resumes. They help with resumes. They do cover letters, and they help the clients to find work. Because it's a much longer workshop, so they have the time to be able to do all those things.
That sounds great. That's an excellent opportunity.
Yeah.
Is that advertised on your website? Someone was asking.
That is, yes, it's on the website, and the name of the program is called Edge, the Edge program. I just put it in the chat.
Okay.
So if they go to Brands for Canada, right, and just click on programs, you'll see two programs. You'll see Suitable Impressions, which is what we talked about a few minutes ago, and you'll also see the Edge.
Excellent. And what's the cost of that?
Free.
The other one.
The one-day OW program?
Not the OW is free. The second one you mentioned.
No, the OW is the cost. The second ODSP program is free.
Okay. The ODSP is free. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But the OW is covered by the social worker, you say. The social,
right.
But it's free for the clients.
Exactly.
So they're both free, because Johannes was asking here, they're both free for the client, from client's perspective.
Well, yeah, if you look at it that way, yeah.
Just wanted to clarify that. Excellent. Actually, one question for you. I know Fatma was asking if you have a job, someone was asking if there's any job offers within your company. I know you came in to talk about how to maximize your chances to get a job anywhere you want, anywhere you want to, but do you have any job vacancies?
At the moment, no, we do not have anything right now. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about any position at the moment. But you never know what may happen in the new year, right? But at the moment, no.
And someone was asking, it's an interesting question, should they have a job offer first to apply for the workshop, or can they be just searching for a job?
Both, actually.
Okay.
Both, yeah, because what happens is if the social workers, if a client goes to the social worker or if the social worker knows that a client is actively looking for work and they have a couple interviews or they have interviews coming up, that is a good reason for them to refer you to the program.
Excellent. Great. Well, it sounds exciting. I think there's a lot to learn from that. So again, if anyone is interested, you can speak to Julianne or contact her by phone or email on the contact information that we just dropped in the chat. But Julianne, thank you so much for joining us again. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Okay, thank you guys.
You're welcome. If there's any more questions, we'll let you know towards the end. But I want to introduce Lourdes, who's part of our MNLCT team, and she will be talking about a few opportunities that are available in the market. Lourdes, good afternoon to you. How are you today?
I'm good.
Doing well.
How's everyone doing?
Everyone seems to be great, and we really want to find out what's out there. I know you also, and Lourdes, by the way, was also part of the team that put this episode together. So thank you so much for your hard-earned efforts, Lourdes, and for bringing all these amazing speakers for today's webinar.
Okay, so I'll share my screen. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So this is my segment on job search and career planning resources. First, let's acknowledge our sponsors. Of course, this event is in partnership with it's a partnership between the Redwood and the Mennonite New Life Center. And what started this is the awareness project supported by the Women Focused Canada and funded by the Canadian Red Cross and the federal government. So what's in it for you today? So we're going to talk about community-based resources. And all these community-based resources, as you know, because of the COVID, they become online resources. So then we're going to talk about where do you find employers if you're job searching. We'll talk about if you're thinking of starting or changing careers. So what are the resources? And what if, we know that not everybody's looking for work. Some of you may want to start your small business. So what are the resources if you're thinking of starting a small business? And then you get to get information on where to get help online and in person before you're going for an interview. So these are the, the employment resource centers. So what does the employment resource centers provide? Of course, they provide assistance in navigating your job search. They help in career planning. They help with, you need to sign up for mock or practice interviews. And you have job boards there. And the good thing with the job boards, it's popular job search engine. So some are shared by other nonprofit organizations and corporate ones. And of course, the counselors and the job developers there help out with the development of your job search tools. So what are these job search tools? These, of course, are your resume, your cover letter, your reference list, thank you letter. And they do this in the form of conducting job search workshops. And they help in providing strategies and tips on how to navigate the job search process and the career planning, and how you get into the kind of job that you feel good about. And of course, many people go to the employment resource centers just to use the facilities, the equipment there, like the computers, fax machines, copier machines, and the big one is the coaching support from counselors and job developers. The employment resource centers are, of course, funded generally by the government. And there's at the city level, there's the Toronto Employment Services. At the provincial level, you have the Employment Ontario and the Services Canada. So to mention a few, so you have where I worked for the longest time is the Next Steps Employment Center by Toronto District School Board. And it depends on your postal code. So you can Google and type in Employment Ontario, and it will ask you to provide your postal code. So you will be given the information which employment resource centers would be closest. So you maybe need to just walk or just to take a short trip to any of these ERCs or employment resource centers. So the most popular ones I have on the slide is the Catholic Cross Cultural Services, the Wood Green, Career Foundation, LEF or the Learning Enrichment Foundation, Access Employment, Skills for Change, Labor Education Center, YMCA, Job Start, Job Skills, COSTI, and if I can mention HOPES, helping our newcomers for employment success, which is being run by the Mennonite New Life Center. So, so in employment resource centers, they help you with in navigating the job bank, and of course the NOC, the Canadian National Occupational Classification, where you get to see if you're exploring the outlook for a particular position that if you're thinking of changing careers. So you go to this website, the Canadian Services, the job bank, and you type in the position you're applying for, and then it will ask you where you want to work. And if you click on the outlook, it will show you whether the prospect for that particular position is good, fair, or limited. So good meaning there's 3 stars there. Fair, if it's 2-star, limited would be 1. And there are times when it's NA. What does NA means? Meaning it's not assigned. So there's no, meaning there's no information whether it's a 3, 2, or 1 star. So some of you may be coming from countries where you already had your profession, and when you come here in Canada as newcomers, you may want to see the equivalency. By going to the World Education Services, and there are other organizations like University of Toronto where you can get your equivalency. So the employers would like to know, especially if you want to put it in your resume, that you're a registered nurse or a registered engineer, and the WES or World Education Services would see how does your education compare, or is it at par with the Canadian standards? So I'll talk more about this in a little while. For those of you who are thinking of changing career or have been out of work, out of the labor force for a while, you may be thinking of applying through OSAP or Ontario Student Assistance Program or Second Career. Of course, just like any program, there are eligibility requirements for this. Second Career is a grant. You don't have to pay for that, and the ceiling for this is 28,000. And for OSAP, it depends on the kind of course you're interested to apply for. So I'll give at the end of this segment, I'll give my contact information so you can ask me some details about how to apply for OSAP. I can help you with that. And if you're not thinking about OSAP or Second Career, and you probably have really good marks or good background, so you can apply for scholarships. And there are top 20 scholarships in Canada. And I would suggest that if that's the route you want to take, you can check out the scholarshipcanada.ca. And just for you to know that there's a lot of money. There's a lot of money that's untapped, because not so many people know that there is Scholarships Canada. Okay, so the Scholarships Canada is, the money is not only coming from the government, it's also coming from foundations like the Royal Bank Foundation, Scotiabank Foundation, and other big corporations where they channel the resources, they channel the money for scholarship through Scholarships Canada. So it's governed by, or it's being managed by the Scholarships Canada. So now that you know that and you have good marks, you may want to skip OSAP or Second Career and go directly to apply for scholarships from any of the foundations, or any routes where through the academy where you can apply for scholarship. It could be partial, it could be full scholarships, but it depends on, it's a case-to-case basis. Okay, so where do you find employers? So some of you are familiar with some of this, like the most popular one here is Indeed. Some are familiar with this logo. This is the logo of Glassdoor. And Glassdoor has its favorite best places to work. So if you're looking for employers, so it's not only employers who are looking for you, of course, you're also looking for a good employer. So Glassdoor is one good website where you can pick from their list of best places to work. So some are not very familiar with Peter's new job, but this is a popular search engine. LinkedIn, of course, is most of you know LinkedIn, and if you don't have one, if you don't have a profile, it's always suggested that you create one, because the employers, before they call for an interview, they check out LinkedIn if you have a LinkedIn profile. So I would suggest that you update your LinkedIn profiles if you have one. And if you don't have one, start creating, because this is a professional page where most employers would like to see whether the applicant has a LinkedIn profile.
Lourdes,
And then,
can
of course,
just add, I mean, this is excellent, by the way. The thing with LinkedIn, I mean, it's used by what they say almost over 90%, 95% of jobs, depending on industry, that you know, nowadays they go through LinkedIn, right? So, but one thing for the audience to know, I mean, it's a big, people give LinkedIn, you know, they do LinkedIn webinar sessions. But aside from that, is that just make sure you have the option to, as a, if you're seeking employment, to have an option to click on in the settings on a button that would allow employers to to find out about you. So, and the more you beef up your LinkedIn profile, the better it becomes you know, accessible. So that's something. And about Glassdoor, another thing that you may want to add is about, which I like it, is that you have people who are employed, like, so employees can, sometimes you see reviews by employees, either sometimes more, usually you see it from previous employees, but sometimes you do have current employees. So it's good. It gives you, you know, idea about the, you know, about the organization.
the company. Yeah.
Exactly, or the industry. So no, that's quite good.
So yeah, you can check out. That's a good point, Miles. Like you can check out the company's you know, the reviews by people who used to work there. Okay, so and another social media is Facebook, which you can use for job hunting. And you know that on Facebook there are pop-ups there, where you can take advantage of checking out the kind of company that pops up, and if you're interested, you can apply for work. And then Volunteer Toronto, like some of you are interested, and I've seen the questions earlier. Some of you were asking if you can, where you can do volunteer work. The way to go is to sign up at Volunteer Toronto, and I've done this myself. I've done probably 3-4 volunteer assignments, and eventually got hired. So you know, during our opening doors at the MNLCT New Life Center, I've invited Volunteer Toronto twice, and they're a good resource, and it's a good platform. You're not just volunteering for the sake of volunteering. Of course, it's the kind of job that you feel good about, and you get to choose the company where you want to volunteer, where there's an opportunity to get hired. So that's the key there. So find an organization or a company where there may be opportunities when they hire, you're in as a volunteer. You can check out their job boards or their company website. Then, because they know you already as a volunteer, then you have the edge there. And if the employer likes you, they may not. And this happens all the time. They may not post the available job postings because you're already there. So that's one strategy that some job seekers take: volunteer first, and then apply for work in the company that they're interested in. And then another one here is the Canadian Forces. So, but Canadian Forces currently has an imbalance in gender. That's why they have influencers, and I'm one of them. Since 2015, I'm one of the influencers for the Canadian Forces, and they hire from the trades to name it. All positions are available at Canadian Forces. So they want to balance the gender. As you know, in Canadian Forces, it's dominated by male, and they want to balance the gender there. So they're encouraging women to apply for to take the training and to apply for work in the Canadian Forces. And some of you may be asking, what status, what immigration status do they accept? And many of you are newcomers, but they accept only Canadian citizens. So that's one thing to think about. Once you get your Canadian citizen status, it's time to apply for a federal jobs. So the jobs here are of course a federal level, and some people don't know that the Canadian Forces does not only hire for going to war. You could also be involved in relief operations, rescue operations, and many people applying for trades, from esthetician, hair cutter, to health and medical, nurses, trades, carpenter, any, they accept all positions. And of course, you'll go places, and it's all over Canada. They're accepting applicants, and the website there is forces.ca. Okay, forces.ca. So if you're interested in applying for work at Canadian Forces, it's forces.ca. You can check out their website. Another one here is Newcomers Canada Job. So this is for newcomers and for internationally trained professionals. And of course, you can find employers when you look at Eventbrite. Every day there's events through the Eventbrite, and you can see where are the job fairs happening, and those employers who are in the job fair are of course a source of information for you to choose which employer would you want to work with. And for those of you who are needing mentorship, especially the internationally trained professionals, there is TRIEC, or the TRIAC, Toronto Region Immigrant Employment Council. So when you get to this website, you'll see agencies accredited which offer mentorship for internationally trained professionals. So if you're an internationally trained doctor or nurse or architect, or especially in the regulated professions. So TRIAC is the organization which offers mentorship. So it's like getting a professional coach, but at no cost. You will see organizations where they are supported by TRIAC, and you can enroll, of course, at no cost to you, because most of the organizations registered with TRIAC are nonprofit organizations. Now, if you get a chance to open the website of Forbes Canada's Best Employers, and this is a yearly thing, Forbes Canada's Best Employers list the top 500, top 50 employers in Canada. And sometimes they list also top employers in Ontario, top employers in the city, in Toronto. So I think it's because it's year end, you can take a look at the website of you look at this page, and you can see the top Canada's Forbes 2020 Best Employers.
Yeah, another thing, I mean, on Forbes, they do top everything, right? From billionaires to what have you.
Yes.
But a good thing, the other one is lot of people might be interested in going for the conglomerate organizations. So if the Fortune 100 or Fortune 500 companies is another good one to look up. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, so that too. And for some of you who may be interested in working for the government, so there's the OPS, Ontario Public Service Careers. So every week there's so many, especially at this time of pandemic. The social services and the services offered by the government is teeming with the vacant positions because people resort to community services, government services where people can get help. And of course, the Toronto's Greater Toronto's top 2020 employers. So that's one website to look at. And these are, of course, employers within the Greater Toronto area. Now, for specific groups, for specific sectors, so for those who are experienced or those who are over 40, some of you are maybe worrying that they may be, it's difficult to get into the labor market because of age. So there's the list of employers who hire or who give priority for people who are over 40. And then there's for young people, this page, Canada's top employers for young people. And yes, there are people with criminal record, and especially for women. And this is at the downtown Toronto, the Elizabeth Fry. They help people who have criminal record who are wanting to rejoin the workforce despite of incarceration. So Elizabeth Fry is a good organization where they have it's also funded by Employment Ontario, and yeah, they help individuals who have criminal record. Another organization helping young people is the PAYE, a partnership to advance youth employment. Okay, so if you're a young person looking for work, this particular organization caters to the young people ages 18 to 29. And for those who are concerned about their they don't be discriminated against at work, so there are Canada's best diversity employers, so from people who are marginalized, people with different issues like those who have issues with drugs, or who speak different languages, or you're worried about you'll be discriminated against because you're from this sector or from that sector. You may want to get help from Canada's best diversity employers. And for those, yes.
No, Lourdes, I'm just conscious of time. I just wanted to, because we have a few questions coming up. Wondering is as well, could we share some of these resources, these presentations?
Yes, I'm gonna just at the end of the last segment is actually my email address and phone number. So for those of you who want a copy of the slides, this whole presentation is on PDF, and you just you'll just get my email, and I will email to you the whole presentation so that you have all these resources.
Thank you.
And those who are focused on protecting the environment or passionate about working to protect the environment, so there's this organization. There's this organization that focuses on the green thing, protecting the environment. And as I mentioned earlier, not all of you would like to work for an employer. Some of you would like to start their own business. So there's there are resources here where you can, if you you try to borrow money from the bank and you get rejected for some reasons, there's the Access Community Capital Fund. They provide loans. This is a social enterprise, by the way, and this is a partner already of MNLCT. They've been through our opening doors, and you just have to apply for small loan, and they will process your application. And because they're nonprofit, it's under the umbrella of OCASI. The interest is very, very low comparatively, compared to the big banks. And then of course you have the Canadian small business women, and Dwayne Yapil is the executive director of this. This is another partner of MNLCT. So you get to this website, and they will coach and give the resources on how to get you started with a small business. And then of course there's this resource for everything you want to know about starting a small business, and whether you're looking for work or starting a small business, it makes sense to look at the WSIB, the Workplace and Safety Board, especially those who are interested in working in the trades, where safety is an issue. So, and of course there's the ESA, or the Employment Standards Act of Ontario, so you would know the legal working hours. For example, an employer cannot make you work more than 60 hours per week without your consent. So all the everything about fairness at work in Ontario is in this website. Legal working hours, legal pay, legal everything about the legality of work, or the safety of employees is covered under the ESA, under the Employment Standards of Ontario.
Lourdes, I'm just we have a lot of questions coming in. And
okay, so let's reserve the questions at the very end. I'm almost done.
Yeah.
Okay, so now before you go to an interview, these are excellent resources online. So TED Talks, before you go to the interview, you listen, you get coached by TED Talks and Don Georgievich on getting coaching tips on everything job search. Also Linda Rayner, these are popular ones online. Linda Rayner and Don Georgievich from YouTube, so you can get and these are popular ones. And so with the Work It Daily. So these three are the most, there's so many out there on YouTube, but these are the most popular. These three, Work It Daily, Linda Rayner, and then the Georgievich. We've heard about Julian Yang of Brands for Canada, but if you're not Ontario Works and you live very far from Islington Subway, this is for people at the West End. The New Circles, they have this program called GLOW, Gently Loved Outfits to Wear. And they offer, just like Brands for Canada, they offer life skills workshops. They have, and you get certificates for this training, retail and customer service skills. And you get even certification from the Centennial College, expressive. So they have the drop-in expressive art workshops and the sewing circle. So there's so many programs within this little organization called New Circles. Also in downtown Toronto, there's the Dress for Success for women and Dress Your Best for men. You just need to get endorsed by an employment counselor from Mennonite New Life Center or from any employment resource center, that you get a voucher. It's actually just $40 per voucher. And if the organization maybe can't give you a voucher and maybe they're pressed for money, they still would be willing to help You just have to go to their website and tell them your situation so that you get help. And they have this program called PWG, the Professional Women's Group, and that they have a newsletter and all sorts of programs similar to Brands for Canada and One Circle. So there's so many resources when it comes to suiting for interview. And these are my last few slides. Job searching tips. Get as much info on prospective employer before you sign a contract. Get reviews. Go to YouTube and you can get reviews from people who work for that particular employer before you sign a contract and before you go to the interview. And then, of course, it's always advisable that you customize your job search tools, like your resume, your cover letter, so that the job search tools are tools that are used by serious job seekers, so that are customized. And also, you have to be mindful of the ATS. So what's an ATS? I think I covered this in many of my previous workshops. ATS, of course, is the applicant tracking system, which is a huge database of all of CVs, of resumes, and medium to large size employers now use the artificial intelligence driven ATS. So if you don't know what it looks like, I'll show you in the next slide. But again, you have to update your social media and you have to customize your job search tools. And also you have to be mindful of the job, the due dates and the posting dates of the position you're applying for. Don't wait for the very last date. The minute you see a job posting and it speaks to you and you want to jump on it, create or draft a resume customized or tailored for that particular position. And of course, lastly, you have to tell everyone that you're looking for work so that everybody knows and that you know it's a numbers game, so that you tell everyone that you are looking for work, including family members and friends and everyone in your social media. And this is what an ATS look like. So most companies use now the ATS, but you may be asking, what if it's an only 50 employees or 100 employees? So don't worry about the ATS. Then the ATS is only used by companies where they have more than 100 to thousands of employees. So these are the different types of ATS. The Taleo U of T uses this one. Amazon, Walmart, all big companies, medium to big size companies use now the ATS instead of just using the manual resume scanner. So that's why you have to, don't treat your resume like a one size fits all. So customize or tailor your resume. So we're open for questions, and thank you for staying and listening. And this is my contact information. And if you're interested, you can email me if you want me to email to you or send you the PDF format of this presentation.
Thank you, Lourdes. That was very helpful. I mean, there's so much to grasp from that. And we thank you for all that. So again, you will share that presentation for anyone who wants this presentation. Maybe you can drop the email. It's easier to copy in the chat room, Lourdes.
Yeah, so it's here.
Exactly. We have a couple of questions, but I think some of them we won't be able to answer everything because they are more kind of targeted to our employment specialists. So we can connect with because I'm just conscious of time. We have. I want to run a quick.
I think we're very familiar, so I'm really conscious of the time. So yeah, so keep going.
All right. What I'm going to do, before I introduce Ines, who will wrap up the show for us, I want to conduct our final poll. And like I said, we do have a raffle this afternoon. We'll be giving away prizes and some gift cards, and I will. And Nicole, my colleague, will talk more about how that will be conducted. But in the meantime, if I may, I've just I'm launching a poll, so you can see that on your screen. Just a few questions. One is about the importance of finding out about pre-employment and job search resources. So if you can give us your feedback on that. So, and a lot of that was discussed during this webinar. Another question is about if you are searching for employment, what sort of sector are you basically focused on? I know we can't list all the sectors, there's so many, but these are the ones that we were focused on today. And then if you would like to find out if you find this sort of webinar and virtual, job resources helpful. So, and if you want to be contacted, we can reach out to you if you would like us to, if you'd like to have a one-to-one conversation with any of our specialists, we would definitely like that. So we can connect with you afterwards. In the meantime, I'll let that poll run for a couple of minutes there. But before I give the floor to Ines, I want to bring on Nicole, who's my colleague in the communications department, just to talk about the raffle. So what we'll do is we're going to be giving away some gift cards and prizes to our attendees today and those who participated in the poll. But we will do that. Nicole will explain more about the methodology. Nicole, go ahead.
Hi, Miles. Thank you. Thanks, everyone, for joining us today. Unfortunately, we don't have time to draw the names right now, but we will do the raffle, and we will contact all the winners by email. We have all your emails from your registration. And then when we post this recording of the session onto our YouTube channel, we'll also include the winners' names in the YouTube description in the video as well.
Thanks, Nicole, for the raffle. So we will contact you directly and we'll announce them on like Nicole says. In the meantime, just to wrap this up, I want to thank everyone again for being here today. I want to give Ines the final word. Ines, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Miles, and everybody, all the employer, the speakers, and all the attendees. It's a pleasure for us always to, to share all these beautiful programs and this in this moment that we are living, that all together we are going to go through this. And there are so many resources, as you can see today. And well, we're as Nicole said, and we're going to share also this recording. So if somebody couldn't come, you can, in our channel, YouTube. So thank you. You can contact me. I put here also my information. Call the center. We have many services. So we're open to everybody. So thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you, Ines. And again, you can contact us at MNLCT through our website, through our iSent app that I spoke about earlier. And it's in the chat room, so you can scroll in, get all those resources. Again, if you missed out on anything that you would like us to share with you, please connect with us directly. And if you have any questions as well, let us know. And I want to thank you once more. Thanks to all our speakers, Lourdes, Ines, Leticia, as well as the Redwood team for putting on this Job Connect Cafe. Tune into more webinars. We have, just as a heads up, we have some of you have been joining us we have our Ask MNLCT sessions. That's another initiative that we started this year. And our next one is on December 9th. It's on human trafficking or counter human trafficking, which our organization works is very passionate of combating. But so there's a webinar at 1 o'clock on December 9th. So mark your calendar if you're interested. It's going to be a hot one. We have some excellent speakers who will talk about that whole issue and how to deal with it. So thanks again once more. Keep tuned, stay safe, everyone, and we wish you all the best. Have a great afternoon. Thank you. thank you everyone for joining our Job Connect Cafe session. We wish you all the best. And now, as promised, we are going to draw 10 names for a $25 gift card for each person that wins today. So best of luck. Here we go.
Oh,
Good, Fabio. Great.
Our first winner is Fabio E. We won't announce your last name, but we do have your last name, so we will contact each person, each of the winners. So congratulations, Fabio. Thank you for joining us. And now for our second draw.
Florentino.
Florentino.
Congratulations.
Hope participant.
Good.
Excellent.
Good.
Again, another third contestant there. Thank you. And now for our fourth spin. Here we go. Good luck, everyone.
Sarojini. Congratulations.
Sarojini, congratulations. Excellent. All right. Now
So we have four, no?
We have four, and this is our fifth spin. So good luck.
We are in the middle. Yeah.
For another $25 gift card.
Congratulations.
All right. And spin number 6.
Oh, Fatima. Tahira. Well, Tahira.
Okay. All right. Spin number 7.
Judah. Congratulations, Judah.
Congratulations, Judah. Thank you for joining. Again, you win a $25 gift card. And now we go to our 8th contestant.
Camille.
Congratulations.
And we have 2 more spins to go. So good luck, everyone.
The last 2.
Yes.
Althea. Congratulations.
Congratulations. All right. And for our final spin, let's see who's going to be. Here we go. Let's spin the wheel.
Marifer, congratulations.
Our last winner, thank you so much. It was a pleasure hosting all of you, and congratulations. We hope you have the best of times and happy holidays.